at the 6-minute mark of the third, the Dogs with one shot on goal.
And I think that smile or that smirk from Digit Murphy is not one of content and happiness, but she has to be pleased, but I think it's more nervous energy. She's such a positive motivator. She tries to keep her team in check.
Oh, here's a Zamora was hauled down. There'll be a penalty on Alexander. Probably a good penalty at that point. A pulled goaltender. Oh, the save by Sauter. She holds on.
Wow, and Zamora and Link were all alone for that rebound. And Sauter, she's just been so big all game long. Look at the penalty first. We've seen this play off the faceoff. They win it. Zamora scores. So what does Alexander do? She pulls her down, and I think that's a good penalty like you mentioned. Then look at the shot in from the point. Everybody forgot about the players in front of the net. And Zamora and Link, they're all alone, but Sauter, she's just so strong.
Alexander, the holding penalty, but how important was it for Sauter to come up with the glove catch? She was outnumbered there, 2-0. So Alexander gets the first penalty of this period at 6:54. And it'll be the fourth power play for Brown. Neither team has scored on the power play in this game. Tied at 2, third period. Now Maria Roth, shorthanded, bringing it in. Cuts to the middle, a great defensive play by Turner.
And that's what makes Cassie Turner an ECAC first team member. She's so strong defensively. You don't see her, but it's those intangibles that she does to make this team so strong.
Dumped in from center ice by Kim Insalako. It may have been tipped. It leaves the rink. And a face-off coming up.
Look at this. We don't see a lot of true defenders in the women's game, but she's one of them, and she's one of the better ones. She just makes it look easy. That's why she's in the mix for the Canadian national team. She's been a U22 member, and rightfully so. She's just a great, solid player to have back on your blue line.
Defensive instincts are not natural born. The goal scorers, the offensive instincts seem to be a little more born into a person. You got to learn to play D.
And it's really one of those things our game has lacked at the international level is great, great defenders. Although we had one of them on, and that was Tara Mountain, a Brown University grad.
1:14 on the power play. The shot, and Sauter makes the save. Rebound to Brown. It's back at the line. LaFleur shooting through the screen and hit a body. Nugent turns and shoots. The tip in front, a rebound. A scrambling play, and Sauter makes the save. The second effort in close by Jessica Link.
Boy, and Nugent is just playing unbelievable. She's so smart. She gets the puck up high. She looks, and she just knows exactly where her teammates are going to be. Look at this. The puck comes right to Link, and you can see the swarm down low. UMD does a good job bullying Link right out of there. What do we say? No checking? That's a check. Or can we call it a push?
Let's call it a push. The play has been so even.
But you know what? That's what you're supposed to do, and that's what the ref should do. Let that go. You got to be able to move those people out of in front of the net.
Now under a minute to go in the minor penalty. Alexander off for Minnesota Duluth. Brought in on the far side by Insalako. Leaves it in the corner, McManus. Ostrander made a move for the puck, but then instead guarded and blocked cheaply. Insalako, a flat pass across the blue line. That was nearly intercepted. Nikio can't get it out. And a blast now by Luther, but only as far as the point. Turner, big save by Sauter. Now Insalako shooting Sauter, another save. What pressure by the Bears, and they have 9 more in the power play. And it's backhanded out of the zone, out of the corner by Luther.
They're getting the shot they want up high, but they're not getting the traffic in front of the net.
A block by Roth. She goes after the puck in the corner and takes it away. Now rolls it into Hempel. Back up the middle, it's thrown away, and the Bears to center ice. 5 skaters aside. McCurdy's pass. Tipped ahead by Nugent. And then back into the zone, Ostrander. Couldn't touch it because they were in the midst of a change. Hempel all alone. Big save by Dreyer. Rebound, another save. Third try doesn't make the net. And a body on the ice. That's Petroskaya, who's just picking herself up.
Petroskaya. Boy, she got hit, and she got hit hard.
And Brown to relieve pressure. They got it to center, but there was Nugent. So that at least helps avoid the icing. But Minnesota Duluth dumps it back in. Hempel in the corner. Blasted hard by Ostrander.
Well, we saw a bad change early in the game by Brown, and then there was another one.
2-on-1 Bears. Gay moving right in. Sauter. Huge pad save.
And that's exactly how Digit Murphy wants her system to work. Use the flyer with the high pass. Find that second player just flying through the neutral zone. And boom, you got a breakaway.
You're watching NCAA Productions coverage of the Women's Hockey Championship. Back in a moment.
Take a look at this. This is exactly the way Brown wants to execute their system. They find the flyer. The flyer then drops it to the second person just flying through the neutral zone. But no, she just can't finish. That's Katie Gay. She's not a pure finisher. She takes a jab at it, but Sauter is so strong. You can see what she did. She had her pulled. She looked 5-hole, but backhand, she just couldn't slide it 5-hole, and Sauter has been amazing today.
Pressure has continued to mount on her. 29 saves tonight. And of those 29, 7 of them here in the third period. And I think she's had one easy one. Dumped in. Hempel to throw it around. And when I say easy, I mean one that came from out around the blue line. She was able to see all the way. The rest have been in close. Bulldogs 2-on-2 trying to bring it in, but the loose puck is grabbed and shot out of the zone by Gay. Jenny Hempel knocked down not once but twice by Kelly Sheridan, and it's played around. Erica Holst over to pick it up. And dumped down the rink, Meredith Ostrander. He's past the halfway point of the third. Ostrander fires a pass. It'll be picked off by Basinchek. Now to Petroskaya at center. And Ostrander going over, trying to cut off Hempel. It's dropped back. Petroskaya the drive, and it's tipped into the corner. Blocked at the point by Roth. UMD still does not have control.
These two teams have played so well. I don't want to see anyone win. Let's just keep going. Go, 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 go.
A tie would be fitting, but someone needs to win this one. Hempel. And flipped ahead. Roth bringing it in with a great move at the line. Shooting high. Now Petroskaya with a shot. A glove catch by Dreyer, and she will hold on.
You know, one of the things that Shannon Miller told me prior to the game, and especially after the last game, that to be successful in a championship game, you've got all the tools, but you know what? It could come down to goaltending. And right now, both of these goaltenders have just played great.
Here's our story in this third period. Brown with the edge in shots, 12-5, and the chances, probably more important statistic, 7-2.
Making good use of those shots. Face-offs, too. Face-offs have been crucial in their own end for both teams.
Yeah, Tricia Guest waved out. McAteer comes in. It looks like Insulaco's being chased as well. It's LaFleur who comes in.
The referees have done a great job with this game, letting them play.
They have been even. It has been physical. I don't think any dangerous penalties have been overlooked, and no scoring chances have been overlooked either. Far side of the rink up to center ice. McManus to bring it in. Fires it right in front, and the tip-in try just off the tip of the blade. I think Courtney Johnson got there, but it went wide of the target. Now Nevada Russell's outlet pass to the far side, and now off a skate to Brown. Back at the blue line, played ahead by Sigmund. Left side pass. Sheridan, good catch to bring it in. And no one up the middle yet. It hits the base of the net. Here's Russell behind for UMD. Under 8 minutes in regulation, out to center ice. Laurie Alexander breaking in. Head to the net. Good D pushes her back behind the cage, and Sigmund goes down with Alexander. They again were even, no penalty there. And the Dogs get it. Luther to Holtz. Big block. And in the slot to Gay. The block by Meredith Ostrander, and it was a huge one. Keepely has to get rid of it in a hurry. Holt to Zikio, and now out at center, where there's Turner to play it back in. Holt lobbing it into Brown territory. After the puck now is LaFleur. She's in the corner, got away, but then hands it away at the line for Luther. A driving shot off the glove.
Whoa, what a rocket.
By Joanne Eustace off the glove of Dreyer. She got just enough of it. Cassie Turner in the corner. And Turner has to go in front of the net. She got a little help there from LaFleur. They force it to center, and now bringing it in. Here's Zamora looking for three. But a big save by Souter.
Great shot off the screen.
A block again by Turner. She plays it by LaFleur to play it in. As it pops loose, here's Eustace. A little trouble with it. The third period has been all Brown. And now a takeaway by Hempel to create a 2-on-1. Whacked once by Zamora and chased back behind the net.
Good back check by Zamora. She's played such a great two-way game today.
Good stick play without making body contact, and that allowed play to continue. Made the play without drawing the penalty. Now Hempel tried to, oh, what a play by Dreyer.
Those are dangerous.
Intercepts the centering pass. The UMD player was alone in front. We remain tied at 2. Don't go away. Shannon Miller on the left. They're both smiling. I think they're having a good time. It's a great game.
Look at these hits. Ouch one. Ouch two. Again, she'll be in the training room after this one. It's unbelievable. Why in the world does Digit need hitting in this game? It's so physical. It's great out there. And that's the way it's supposed to be played. It's equal both ways. It's been just a fabulous game.
Here's Sikio shooting again. Dreyer covers up.
You know, one of the things that I think makes it such a great game is the no red line. We saw it in international play, men or women. It's such an exciting game, and I'd love to see the NHL go that way. It's comments like that that I'm glad I'm using my maiden name, Weinberg, and not my married name with my husband working in the NHL.
I won't say it, because then I'll be in trouble with both of you. They really ought to look at it. A break for Brown. It's 2-on-1, and Holst is there to shut it down. But McManus comes back with the puck in the slot, and a job by Sikio on McManus and on Insulako in the middle. Here's Russell. Less than 6 minutes in regulation play. Luther on the far side to bring it in for UMD. Centering it. A loose puck in the middle. Dreyer, did it ever get through to her?
I don't think she ever knew where it was. I didn't know where it was.
It was Lori Alexander who was in the slot.
My heart was in my stomach.
That looked like the game sitting right there. A blast from the Brown player, Mandy McCurdy. And that one off a shin pad. Here's Russell. Far side of the rink. Guess. And that pass got tipped, or maybe not. It's going to be icing.
We've seen very few icings today. Just says the high level of play.
This is exactly what you'd want to have for a championship game. It's close. In one-goal games this year, Brown even at 3-3. Minnesota Duluth with an edge 6-2.
But you know, the real turning point for Brown was in January when they lost to Niagara, their 6th loss. We'll get back to this story in a second. The action's so great.
Brown had the better second half. Minnesota Duluth had the stronger first half. Minnesota Duluth was unbeaten. A shot in the goal up the middle. Trisha Guess stepping up to make the play, and UMD has the lead at 4:56 to protect it.
And big goals always come in championship series by unlikely sources. But Trisha Guess has been playing well all game long. Look at this from the top. They say she's a third liner. No way. Look at this. She's been unbelievable. Great move, a pull. She pulls it in, uses the strength off the pull just to take a shot, and I think she caught Dreyer off guard by not shooting it while she had the puck so far out there. 5-0, look at it, right through the legs of Dreyer. That is a goal scorer's goal.
That's a double 5-hole there, through the defender's legs and the goaltender's legs, and Trisha Guest with her 12th of the year.
A sophomore who's just been tremendous out of Saskatchewan. That's a tough move. When you can pull the puck, it's so wide, and not draw it all the way in, but as you're pulling it in, snap a quick wrist shot and keep it low and go 5-hole. That's huge.
Unassisted, Trisha Guess. 15:04 the time. And now Brown need to continue the pressure that they have applied. That was the 7th shot on goal of the period for Minnesota Duluth. And thus far in the period, Brown has taken 8.
All it takes is 1.
That's right. Vasicek lobbing it out at center, and actually it clears the glass and leaves the rink, so there'll be a face-off back in Minnesota Duluth territory.
Last year, Minnesota Duluth, national champions, first ever. What an honor, getting to go meet President of the United States. It's funny, I asked Maria Roth about that. She said, I was home in Sweden, and they called me and they said, you're coming to the U.S., we're flying you back. You're going to come meet the President of the United States. And she thought, no, that's a joke, okay. And then she said, nobody in Sweden, none of her friends believed her, so she had to take pictures. She said it was just unbelievable.
Well, maybe they are 4-10 away from a return trip. And leading by a goal. Minnesota Duluth was down by 1, tied it at 1, took a 2-1 lead, and now they have a 3-2 lead. And as the puck comes free to the near corner, chase is on, and Encelaco, actually it was LaFleur to carry it up, dump it down. McCurdy dumping it in. Whoa, Sauter. Watch that one come all the way to her in the crease. And Cobley made the stop. Played in by McIntyre, then she got popped pretty good out at center ice. And the Bears bring it ahead. McDonald bringing it in. Lights it up! And a great glove catch for Sauter. Might have been off target, but it was a dandy play either way. Fabulous hockey here in the championship game of the 2002 Women's Frozen Four. We'll have the remainder in a moment. Now the UMD bench. And the go-ahead goal scored by Tricia Guest.
Well, what I can tell you about Brown University, they know adversity. They know how to come from behind. To get here, they were down by a goal, and they scored that goal under 3 minutes to tie the game up against Dartmouth.
Vasicek drives it out of the zone. Turner back to pick it up. Sigmund off the rail to center ice, and it got away from Nugent. Back out at center. Zamora have 2 from her. She's the only Bear player to have scored. They need another. An interception. Run in and shot, and it was blocked. That was Sigmund shooting. Now in the slot. Out of the scramble. Taken and protected nicely to the far corner by Roth. And dumps it down the rink. Brown in the middle of a change. This will be icing against Minnesota Duluth.
Good choice there by UMD. When you're in your own zone, you're running around. There's pressure. This late in the game, you're up by a goal. I don't care if you're giving them a face-off. Get the puck out of your zone.
No conversation.
They're talking about pulling the goalie. And they're talking about a timeout and how we're going to set this up. Listen to me, like I really know what she's talking about.
You do. That's why we're here.
That's my guess. Yeah. Look at this face-off. They've been huge tonight.
And Minnesota Duluth wins this one. Luther delivers to center ice, but they can't control now Ostrander.
UMD might have won a lot of face-offs and on top as far as face-off numbers go, but we've seen a big goal scored by Brown off of a face-off.
And several other chances that were stopped by Sauter off the face-off. Oh, there's a hit in the corner, and that one hurts. It knocked Larissa Luther down. That is up and okay.
And that's a check. That was let me take the body, but this late in the game,
no,
you don't call it. I wouldn't call it.
Out to center ice, it's off a skate, and then forced in the zone by Courtney Johnson. Brown changing 4 of their 5 players. Now they're going to make all 5 change up. And a pass to the far side. Petroskaya had not crossed center. She dumped it down. It'll be icing again against Minnesota Duluth. Well, I think the strategy here is to get rid of it if you can.
Right. There she could have gotten rid of it. There you don't do the icing. Look at Shannon.
Yeah, they think it was tipped.
A little shake of the head. Yeah, Luther shaking up, and we saw her. She probably got the wind knocked out of her. Look at this. Wow. Hello. Katie LaFleur is my name. Would you like it on your chest? Because I'm about to just hammer you.
And Petroskaya ices it again.
You don't see any jerseys on the back of Brown's uniform. Any names? Any names on the back of their jerseys, that is.
We lamented that on Friday.
Yeah, they took those off after they had lost 5 games. Their 6th loss against Niagara in January, and they became a team. If you ask the players, that was the bonding. All about digging deep, and now, right now, they need to dig deep and come up with a goal.
93 seconds left. At the line, a block. Mora. Off, back to pick it up. We'll keep our eye on Pam Dreyer at the other end. So far, staying home, but what is this, 3 or 4 icings in a row? And perhaps
this is
crossing center would be a little more wise than dumping from where they do.
Right, I can see Shauna Davidson, who coaches the defense for University of Minnesota Duluth, and very vocal. That is not what she teaches her D to do. I played with Shauna at UNH. Great player in her own right. From Duluth. Happy to be there on the coaching staff. And now Digit calls the timeout.
1:17 left, and then we'll discuss whether Pam Dreyer will come out now or later. Well, whatever the Brown face-off strategy was, I guess first winning it and then heading for the net, they seem to be able to repeat it. I don't know if Minnesota Duluth has adjusted on face-offs, but we'll watch here.
Well, I think they're doing a better job with the stalemate there, and I think picking up Zamora. We asked her about that, and she said we got to pick her up. She's so strong and so tough. And you'll see here, we're going to watch it. Even with the odd man, they're going to have a man advantage. Watch them take Zamora. It's going to be someone's job for UMD, and expect it to be someone big and strong like Maria Roth to take Zamora.
That's a nervous smile,
yeah.
I'm thinking. There it is, the empty net. Pam Dreyer out. Played a fabulous game. 29 saves thus far. But UMD with the lead, 3-2. 6 skaters for Brown. The draw to the Bears. Back at the line, a blast. That's blocked. The shot was taken by Insulaco. Insulaco with the block at the point. Oh, could not hold it in. Turner to pick it up. 6 skaters for Brown as they flip it in, and Holtz drives it right back out. Rolls loose to Luther with an empty net. She couldn't backhand it. Now another shot at the empty net. And it'll be picked off in front by Zamora. An empty net at the other end. Now it's thrown in. Russell gets a piece of the puck. Souter, the goaltender, paddles it away. Driven to the line. Oh, barely out of the zone.
I'd like to see that again.
I'm not sure. There was a collective groan by at least
There's a look at
people.
There's a look at this. The ref has the last say. We can see it's over. It's over.
Yes, it was a great call.
That's why we're here and they're doing that. We should just let them do their job.
That's why they're getting the big bucks.
Still plenty of time. 45 seconds.
Pam Dreyer back in, if we hadn't mentioned that, with the face-off out at center ice. Now Dreyer heads to the net as Brown had control right from the face-off. Maria Ross behind the net, tries to bank it out of the zone, gets it out. Turner will get pressure in a hurry from Petroskaya. And Cassie Turner had a knock off her stick. Kim Insulaco behind the net. In front of the net. 23 on the clock. To center. To the UMD line. Insulaco looking for the centering pass. It was blocked. It went behind the net. Ostrander gets it. To Turner. A one-timer. Deflected. Souter makes the save. Now a turnaround centering pass. That's blocked. Keithley goes down. Over to pick it up is Houston. They jam up in the corner. There's a whistle at the horn, if not before. And we'll declare no champion yet. They are champions. Minnesota Duluth wins it 2 years in a row.
Well, the celebration can speak for itself, but both teams should be so proud of the exhibition of women's hockey they put on today. It was unbelievable end-to-end action.
celebration continues. What a hard-fought victory. Shannon Miller will join us in a moment. The winning coach for second year in a row. Back in a moment. The handshake has begun and concluded. Erica Holst among the champions again this year. And the two-time champion coach, Shannon Miller, down at ice level. Congratulations. It's got to feel very good, but particularly because of the way this game was played.
Oh, it was an awesome hockey game. What we talked about to our team before the game is we've got two great hockey teams in the final game, and it's going to be a 60-minute sprint. That's exactly what it was. Two great hockey teams. It belonged to nobody, and we had to go after it and get it. And I give a lot of credit to Brown. That was a hell of a game.
Shannon, this is Ellen Weinberg up here. We knew you had the offensive threat. You knew you had that, but you told me prior to the game you needed big-time goaltending tonight. You have to be pleased with the way Sauter played.
I absolutely am. You know, to be honest with you, she was a little shaky early in the game, and I think you know that. And our offense was very powerful, and their goaltender was standing on their head. And I know I talked to Patty between the second and the third, and I think she came out like Superman, and she played outstanding in the 20 minutes where we really needed her.
A quick word, Shannon, please, on assembling and reassembling the team this year.
Well, it's been a really difficult season. Honestly, in August, we talked about it and said, let's just try to get to the Frozen Four. People going in and out of the lineup all season really affects your team chemistry, line combinations, and, of course, power play units. We've had 3 weeks to get this team on the same page and be the best we could be today, and we did it.
Shannon, congratulations. You played like true champions.
Thank you very much.
Your teammates are waiting for you. Thanks again for your time. Shannon Miller, 2 years of NCAA play, two-time champions. That's a heck of an accomplishment.
And the scarier thing is they don't have one senior in the lineup here tonight.
That's an amazing number. Tricia Guest will have her name in history books for a long time as having scored the championship goal. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's going through your mind right now?
Oh, it's overwhelming. I don't even know what to think. It's a dream come true. Every hockey player dreams of scoring the game-winning goal in a national championship, and I don't even know what to think right now.
Tricia, Ellen Weinberg up here. As a former player, your move, your individual effort on that goal was tremendous. Can you take us through it?
All I remember, I just got the puck over the blue line, and I remember just cutting to the middle and taking a low shot on net because I think our first goal was scored just kind of the same way, just low and off a rebound. So I just wanted to shoot on net, low, and then the last thing I saw was a puck in the back of the net.
What's with the stick celebration, dropping the sticks?
One player, Erica Holst, I think, started that a while ago. She scored goals and she dropped her stick, and now it's a thing where we all drop them, but the ref kind of stopped that after the second goal.
Tricia, congratulations. A wonderful game, a great performance, a great championship goal.
Thank you so much.
All right, back to your teammates. I think they're ready for a picture, and they need you in there. Tricia Guest, who scored the championship goal in this, the 2002 Women's Frozen Four. Minnesota Duluth repeats as winners. Brown, the hottest team coming into this tournament at 19-1-1 coming into today's action, played as true champions too.
Boy, you have to give credit to the play of Brown. They were so amazing. Both teams, it could have gone either way. And you know what? That's what a championship game should be all about. I'm so happy to be a part of this. Women's hockey has come so far, and it's so great to see that women's hockey finally has what they need, and that's a women's Frozen Four NCAA championship for the second year.
And two excellent championship games. Minnesota Duluth, great representatives. We certainly hope you enjoyed the telecast as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you, with the champions Minnesota Duluth, second place to Brown, and in the third place game today it was a tie, and perhaps fitting there too that Niagara and Minnesota would play to a 3-3 tie in that one. So again, our thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next hockey season. For Ellen Weinberg, I'm Frank Mazzacco. Good night, everyone.